Yeah, cohesive unit right now, getting better. Let's get the latest now from Barclays as we head out to the arena and bring in our Meghan Triplett. And Meghan, let's start by talking about Sean Marks and some of the wonderful things he had to say about making Jacque Vaughn the permanent head coach. I know Marks talked to you in the media today and, again, had some great things to say about Vaughn.
He definitely did, Bob. I mean, Sean Marks just talked about the history that Jacque Vaughn has, not just with the organization. He played here. He's been coaching here for 7 years, but it felt as if in this press conference that it was just like good vibes all around. There were a lot of smiles, especially when you can like check something off of your list. And for Jacque, he has so much chemistry with these guys. Joe Harris spoke about Jacque Vaughn earlier this morning before we even knew that Jacque Vaughn had been promoted to head coach, and just talked about how Jacque has made the game just more simple for this group, especially over these last couple of games. And as you mentioned, Sean Marks did address the media earlier today about Jacque Vaughn's hire.
There's a number of factors, you know, why JV was the right fit. I mean, obviously I've known JV for a long time, and all of us have, and he's been a part of this culture. He's been a part of what we've been building here over the years. And we look at the person he is, we look at his connection with players. I obviously look at what's happened over the last sort of 4 games, but you know, it's not entirely that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the big picture here, and you know, having a relationship with him for 7 years, his connection to players, his competitive spirit, you know, a lot of that goes a long way, and we've seen how this team, to be quite frank, has responded to him, you know, lately. Jacque has always been, you know, a candidate and somebody we have to look at, you know. You know, we've obviously got, you know, a lot of data points with JV over the course, you know, of this last week, these last sort of 4 games. You know, it became evident that, you know, we didn't need to look elsewhere. I mean, you know, as I said before, you know, in order for us not to pick JV, we had to find somebody that was going to be more impressive and you know, more of a fit for this group, and there wasn't one.
There was a lot of speculation about Ime Udoka. Why didn't you guys end up hiring Ime?
You know, like all other searches we've ever done, whether it's front office or coaching staff, you know, it's never appropriate to talk about who may or may not have been a candidate for this job. All I can tell you is there was an exhaustive search. You know, we went through candidates, and we'll leave it at that.
And Bob, you know, Sean Marks, when it comes to Jacque Vaughn, he was asked about Kevin Durant and if he got Kevin Durant's input. And Sean Marks said that, you know, he gives players updates on the search and what's happening. But as for KD wants to be a basketball player, and that's all he wants to do, and that's what his job is. And so he didn't get KD's input. But as we've all mentioned, Jacque Vaughn has been with this organization for the last 7 years, and he knows these guys. He knows this team. He knows Kevin Durant very well. Another update for you guys is that Sean Marks was asked about Kyrie and if he had an update that he wanted to share, and Sean Marks said not at this time. When it is an appropriate time to share some update on Kyrie Irving, he will get to that.
All right, now you mentioned the press conference today with both Marks and Jacque Vaughn and how there were just good vibes all around, and you really got that from the way Jacque Vaughn talked about accepting this head coaching job on a permanent basis. Meghan, I know you had the chance to talk to him one-on-one. How does he view this challenge now?
You know, for Jacque Vaughn, he knows what he has ahead of him, but for this moment, what I loved about what Jacque Vaughn told me earlier today was that he's been a good servant for the last couple of years, and he always knew his time would come when it was the right time. And so Jacque Vaughn was smiling, but he knows what he's got to do next, and he knows what the culture is, and he knows what the standard is for this organization. Sean Marks has talked about it several times, and Jacque Vaughn has signed on to that, and he signed on to do just that. I mean, it starts tonight, especially against the New York Knicks. And as you mentioned, I spoke to Jacque Vaughn one-on-one, and I asked him, what does it mean to be head coach of this organization?
It means a lot, Meghan. I think as a former player here, I've been here 7 years on the staff and served in different capacities, and to still be in this role of service still means a lot to me, and hopefully I can help this organization move forward.
When you found out, what was your message to this team?
Well, I think overall just continue to do what we've been doing, and that's gathering together as a group with one common goal. When we step on the floor, we're trying to win the basketball game. We cover for each other, and we keep things pretty simple.
With these last couple of days, it's been an up and down battle. What have you grown to learn about this team?
The resilience of this team, I think keeping things pretty simple and then really just leaning on covering for each other. We'll continue to say that because that's effective on both ends of the floor, whether it's a defensive rotation or whether it's sharing the basketball on the offensive end.
And when you found out, first phone call, what was that phone call and who was it to?
Oh, it was a late night last night, and so the conversation was with my wife, and thanked her for being here along the ride, and she's been here from day one, and she holds it all together, so very appreciative to her.
And this fan base knows a lot about you, but what do you want them to know that they might not know?
Oh, that's a good one. I think overall that out of all the places I've been at and a part of organizationally, I love being in Brooklyn. My kids are raised here in Brooklyn, and I appreciate that I have the opportunity to serve the Brooklyn community.
And Jacque Vaughn will stay here in Brooklyn. His contract is through next season. And so it starts tonight to see what he can do as the head coach of this Brooklyn Nets organization. I want to show you guys, this is what they're giving out tonight for this battle of the boroughs. It's Let's Go Nets. I got my towel ready. And I asked Joe Harris to shoot around about what this rivalry means. It's my first season, so I'm like really excited to kind of see it. And Joe told me it's the atmosphere and its environment. It's been a great matchup for him over the last 7 years, and he knows this team is going to battle. Edmund Summer told me as well that this is a group, this New York Knicks team, they can play fast, they have a lot of new pieces, and they're forming something, so they know that they're going to come out here and battle. We also know there's going to be a lot of Knicks fans here too. There's going to be a lot of Nets fans, and so the Battle of the Boroughs, it starts tonight. Hopefully the Brooklyn Nets can get it done, and hopefully fans can come out here and get their towel, because we got to see this out in the stands tonight.
A lot of white towels waving, no doubt about it. Meghan, thanks so much. We'll see you with Ian and Sarah in just a bit.